Hello, good morning. Welcome to another wonderful Wednesday class. Please feel free to say hello in the chat and say where you're from. We have Kat.
Hello.
Hello, Kat. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Please excuse you don't see my little face this morning, but I'm going to be here looking after you if you've got any questions. Anyway, I'll disappear
Brilliant.
now.
Yeah. Feel free to chuck any questions into the chat. It would be great to know if you've got anything that you're wanting to share or ask. We are now into a new phase where we're working with the heart and the fire element. So we're going to do a bit of work with that in general. We're going to do a usual thing, scanning in ourselves, checking in with the 3 burners. Oh, I've forgotten my piece of paper. I won't be doing any drawings today, but if you have paper and pen at home, have it at the ready, and we'll be able to keep note of where you're at. And we have today not just 1 point of the week, but 2 points of the week, and we're going to do a little comparison and see what they're like. Okay, well, whenever you're ready, feel free to. Actually, no, we've got a what's it called? A poll to start with. Kat, if you could start off by bringing up the poll, which is just how are you doing at the moment? How have you been getting on? And I will. So here we are. How are you coping? Because times are changing, and we don't have what we used to have when we first started these classes. But life is changing. The way society is running is starting to change. And what's more, there seems to be changes going on a larger scale, you could say. So it's very interesting to see how we're all getting on with that. Okay, so answers are still coming in, but it seems to be in 2 brackets, which is I'm stressed and I'm okay. And it's really lovely to see that quite a few of you are okay or neutral, and those who are feeling a bit stressed, we will definitely work on that. Okay, grand. Yeah, I'll leave that up for the moment. So, if you would like to come to standing and find yourself just in a nice, relaxed, empty posture, you can do this sitting as well. So just find yourself in a nice, easy, relaxed, empty posture. Relax through the base, and then bring your attention into your body. Bring your attention inside. Now, as I normally do, I would like you to just imagine all the people who are joining us today in a circle. So we're in a nice big circle. All the people who are live right now, as well as listening at a later date. Nice big group of us. This is our class. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. It's nice to be here with you all. Okay. And then bring your attention to the top of the head and just scan down through the head. What's this like in my head today? Forehead, back of the head, sides, the face, all the features of the face, going through the neck and the throat, back of the neck. How are my shoulders today? Scanning down through the body. And scan down through the arms, upper arm, elbows, forearms and wrists, into the intricate bones and tendons and muscles of the hands and fingers. How are my arms, you can ask yourself. And then scanning down through the torso, and through all of the organs in the body, as well as the actual rib cage and muscles, through the belly, through the lower back, through the pelvis, into the thighs, down to the knees, the biggest joint in the body, through the calf muscles and shins to the ankles and feet, and you meet the ground. Then get a sense of the whole body. And are there any areas you're being particularly drawn to? Anything that's uncomfortable or full or disconcerting or discomfort in any way? So I'm getting my usual thing, which is the shoulders, but I'm also my knees, interestingly. So just notice where you're drawn to. Lovely. And then we're going to do specific scans of the 3 burning spaces. Now, I'm sure all of you have been here before and you've been through this before, but we will go through it again. I'll tell you, so from the belly button down to the pubis, the pubic bone, you have your intestines, your kidney and bladder. And I want you to just scan into this space in general and just get a general feeling, a general sense, image, sound, color, whatever. What's it like in here today? In this burning space. Okay. Now bring your attention up to, from the belly button up to the diaphragm. Same as sort of space, but it's in the middle here. And we have the stomach, spleen and pancreas. We have liver and gallbladder. And this is more a central kind of port of where we get energy from the body. What's it like in here today, in this mid-burning space? Okay, and is that any different from the lower burning space? Let's just check back in with the lower burning space. Bring your attention into here. And then bring your attention into the middle again. Any difference? It's quite a lot of difference for me. And then moving up into the upper burning space, which is from the diaphragm up to the clavicle, the collarbones. The same amount of space in each portion. We're now in the upper burning space with the lungs and the heart and the pericardium. How's the upper burning space today? What's it like in here? Okay. And just notice, is that different from either of the other two? Just briefly check in and come back. Yeah, quite different for me. Very, very different, in fact. So it'd be interesting to work with all of these. Now, I would like you to just, Kat, if you could bring up the poll for which burning space you would like to work on. There we go. Upper burner, middle, hello. Lots of different things coming in. No one going for lower so far today. It's interesting. So we seem to have most of the people answering for the upper or the middle. A few more people going in for lower now. We will cover all of them, don't worry. Fantastic. Okay, so it looks like so far most people are saying upper, but the middle's close behind. I was kind of feeling the same thing. So that's really interesting. For me, the lower burner was fairly settled, maybe a bit quiet. Middle burner felt a little bit blocked, and the upper burner felt a little bit like, so it needs something going on. Okay, I'm just going to take that back to there. Excellent. So when you're ready, you can come away from the tappity-tappity again. And I'd like you to just start by coming back to where you were drawn to. So for me, I had the shoulders and the knees, do you remember? So where were you drawn to in yourself that may have been a little uncomfortable? So take your attention there and start just shaking and loosening the body a bit. So I'm going to start with my shoulders. So you just start shaking wherever it was. So if it was the hands, you can be here. If it was the face, you can rub your face. Or if it's an area that doesn't really loosen and shake on its own, you can kind of rub it. So you can do a bit of that if it's the sides or something. So for me, shoulders, that's where I need it. So just have a bit of a loosen and a rub and a shake. I'm just going to get my knees open a bit. So feel free to use the wall if you need it. Okay. A little bit of loosening and shaking. Try and get both at the same time. Okay, and then get the loosening and shaking to move into the whole of your body. So try and get the whole of the body loosening and shaking together. Don't forget the face. You can make a sound if you want to. Never underestimate the sound. You can tune in to what you have and make a sound with that. Whole body shaking. And then let that shaking start to get smaller and lighter. And the movement become a bit easier and smaller. But keep that sense of movement until the actual external physical body is almost not moving much. But that feeling of shaking and moving, the sort of vibration of it goes inside. Let it sink further in, this sense of shaking. And just allow even that getting smaller and smaller and smaller to eventually just let go. Sense of stillness inside. Okay. Started off, got a little bit more warmed up. Let's do some work from the lower burner. So first of all, find the belly button, the pubic bone, and we're going to gather a bit of energy into the lower burner. So I find having my feet shoulder width apart is best. But you can be more like hip width apart. I prefer shoulder. So imagine gathering energy around you and drawing it in, and just rub that into your lower belly, warming, nourishing, aiding the function from the lower burner. I may burp quite a lot because this sort of work always gets my digestion going. Okay, and then gather, bring it into your lower burner, settle in. In Chinese, we talk about the dantian. This is your lower dantian. And then a bit of circling and rubbing. And with the breath, you can breathe deep into the lower belly, and then as you breathe out, just letting everything settle there. Okay, take your hands around to your kidneys if you can. Press into the kidneys. And then again, gather the energy, bring it in. Circling on the front of the lower belly. Breathing in, letting everything settle there. Breathe out, let it just rest. Warming, nourishing, igniting, but not overpowering. Okay, and if you can, rub the kidneys behind you. That's also great. And if this is a little bit difficult on your shoulders, you can put a little bit of a bounce in, and it just means the arms aren't doing as much effort. And if you can't reach to the back, then hold the front and imagine that you are pushing or sending energy through into the kidneys. So either rubbing and holding the kidneys to energize them, or connecting from the front and sending the Qi through to sort of energize the kidneys themselves. Okay, and then we've got, we're going to tap down the channels. So the bladder in the very middle of the back of the leg, we're going to tap down that, going to the little toe, and then from the center of the foot, from kidney 1, we'll go up just inside in a corner. Okay, so from the sacrum, and over the bum down, back of the legs, and then squeeze in kidney 1 if you can reach it, and tapping up. I find turning my toes out helps. The inner back of the leg, all the way up to the hips. One more time, sacrum. Back up the inner back of the leg. Okay, let's do a bit of footwork. So, I'm going to get a chair. We all know what's coming next. Kidney 1. I've left my socks off so that you can see. So usual thing, it's 1/3 of the way down, just underneath the ball of the foot, and you can squeeze in. If you can't reach your feet, then you can either put something down on the ground, like a ball, tennis ball, golf ball, something like that, or you can find the corner of something and kind of do that. Or even better, get someone else to do it for you. Okay. So massaging the kidney 1 point. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. The greatest yin point in the body. And it's really a great one to work at night before going to bed because it encourages the yin, which is the time of the day that you're at. It's the yin time of the day. Nighttime, good for sleeping and resting and calming. So use this point then. Okay, and then you can just give your feet a general massage. You can pull toes, squeeze the heel, maybe give it a bit of a tap. Okay, just notice the difference between the 2 feet. Lovely. And then do the other side. Again, just underneath the ball of the feet. Squeezing, 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 contacting that lovely, nourishing, it's called the bubbling spring, Yongchuan. And it's like, it's not that it's like a pushing up, but it's more like just a gentle sort of, when you see a natural water spring in the land and it just gently bubbles up with water. When you're standing and connecting with the earth, which we'll do in a second, we have the same sort of feeling. Okay. Oh, you can generally go around the foot, give it a bit of a wibble wobble. Squeeze and draw out, pull toes, squeeze heels, anything you want to do. Maybe a bit of a tap. Okay, I'm going to move the chair away again. And like that, it was gone. Okay, so now, come to standing. Or whilst you're sitting, really allow that kidney 1 point to connect and open to the ground. And that openness of the channels, now that we've opened them, and into the lower burner. Just feel that lovely connection all the way through. And tune into your lower burner. Does that feel any different from how it was before? And then how it is now? Lovely. Okay, now we're going to take this into the middle burner. Now the middle burner, partly we've got mostly we've got the act of digestion going on. Partly that is the stomach spleen quality of like bringing things in, breaking them down, and then like starting to take in what's ready to be taken in straight away. And that doesn't have to just mean food, it could be our experiences in life as well. So when we're not digesting things easily, we sometimes over-digest or over-analyze, or maybe we get worried. So we can have a little kind of like ease up of the worries by easing the middle burner. But also because of the liver and gallbladder, it likes to move smoothly. So it's best not to attack it too much unless it's really tightly blocked. Then we can kind of give it a bit more oomph. So first of all, we're going to find the belly button. And again, we're going to gather that sense of like gathering all that we need. What are our needs? Gather them in, bring them to the belly button. Have a sigh, or a yum kind of sound, and allow that to kind of settle in. Maybe do a few circles. Okay. And again, gather, like you're gathering food, gathering the abundance of yummy foods or needs that you are feeling that you need. Gather that quality, that qi, and bring it into your belly button, into your digestion, into your core. And then a few circles around the belly button. And when you do the circles, you're going up on the right side, across, and down on the left side. And that just naturally follows the movement of your digestive intestines and your digestive system. Again, with sound, don't be afraid to use sound. You've got sighing. That actually helps us to drop a little bit in. You've also got sounds. And amongst all the different kind of resonances and where that affects in the body, we have that sort of attachment that we have in life to, like, when something's yummy and nice and good and nourishing, we tend to make that sound naturally. So use the sound to try and encourage the feeling. Use the feeling to try and encourage the actual movement of energy, of qi. Okay, and last time, gather. Nice and slowly, just naturally allow it to be drawn in and feel it from here all the way into your belly, already nourishing into your belly with this. And your hands finally meet. A few more circles. Normally I would say do 81 circles. And this is because in Chinese law, numbers are very important. And 1 is considered a very yin number. 9, therefore, is considered a very yang number. This is numerology. And 9 times 9 is 81, which is yang times yang, so it's super yang. Okay. Lovely. Give it a little tap if you like on the belly. Just gently. And now we're going to tap down the channels. So we're going to go down the stomach, just outside the front of the legs, all the way down, and it comes to the second toe, next to the big toe. Then you come up the inside front of the leg, back up to the belly. Okay, so we're going to start at the edge of the belly, down the outside front of the leg, top of the foot, inside of the foot, and again you can turn the toes out of it if you want, up the inside front. Not the inside, but the inside front. And down again. stomach, allowing things to come down, spleen, allowing things to be supported and nourished. Last time. We take things in and we can be nourished by them. Shake out a little bit. Okay, so that's more the stomach spleen side of it. So now how about the liver, gallbladder, and the smooth action? Well, typically, we've got this movement. You know, we do this almost every week. So we're going to do this again. Really important to have your feet nice and stable. And again, this is part of the reason why I do more like shoulder width apart, because it just gives you really good stability. Feet facing forwards. Relax your ankles, open and relax the knees, open and relax the hips. And relax your sacrum, allow your spine to just naturally hang down. Imagine you're being gently suspended by a thread from above. And then turn the hips. But try not to let your knees kind of droop. Try to allow your knees to stay over the toes. I'll show you from the side like this. You can see my big floppy knees in these trousers. My knees aren't moving. As I turn, my knees are staying over the feet. So that's what you're trying to do. You can imagine like if you had a beach ball between your knees. Okay, so you're just turning the hips, allowing that lovely straight hanging spine. And at the moment, you're just doing small turning, just getting the feeling, you sink, you sink. So you're sinking through, but you're not coming over to it, you're staying in the middle. Like that. Okay. Then after a while, we can make it a little bit stronger. Turn, let the upper body just loosen up. And you can, if you want to, try and make this movement come from, rather than from the hips, which is naturally where we, as toddlers, for instance, you know, we would be moving from our base and moving, therefore, from the hips. But you can do it from up here. You can make the movement come from the upper body. But if you want even stronger movement, come from the hips and allow it to go all the way through the body. And this works all the way through the rib cage. And you can imagine your spine nicely twisting, almost like a towel rinsing out water. Now, if that's too strong, just keep it the hips and make it a nice, smooth movement. Like you're just drawing the Qi around your spine. Whereas if you've got tightness in the ribs, you can make it more strong. You can even let your hands tap to where they need to release a bit of tension. So I've got shoulder tension, so I'm letting my hands kind of come up. Okay, last couple. And then don't just stop, but to let it naturally come to a close. We've just been doing a lot of movement. The body's going to have that movement in it. So just find naturally the body coming to a close. And like before with the shaking, let that move smaller and smaller until it's almost entirely internal. And just let that sink in and in and in and in. And then just let go. Just notice that quality. Internal awareness. Lovely. Okay. Let's have a bit of a shake out. What time are we at? Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a tapping down for the gallbladder and the liver. So gallbladder, we want to be on the outside of the hip. So there's the hip bone. We're kind of just starting around the outside of it. You go down the outside of the leg with the trouser seam, outside of the top of the foot, and then you come inside of the top of the foot, and then you come right on the inside sort of, seam of the trouser leg again, all the way up to the hip. Okay, so we're going to tap outside of the hips. This is a great place for helping to release tension in the hips and around the lower back, and can help with sciatic nerves. You can use a loose fist if you want. Just tapping around the hips. Okay, now the outside of the leg. Top of the foot, come up from the big toe on the inside of the leg. Also on the trouser seam. Outside. Last time, in, up. You can just smooth down your ribs as well. They sort of govern the sides of the body, the liver and the gallbladder. What's that like now? How's that feeling? Lovely. And what about in the middle burner? We've just been working in the middle burner. How's that? And what was it like before? Oh, pardon me. And what is it like again now? Now the work. Well, my digestive system is starting to work. And also I'm feeling a lot more open with more movement through. Before I was a bit more closed off. Okay, upper burner. Here we go. Now we're going to start with the lovely stretch heart protector like this. I'm sure you've all done this one before several times. So we're going to bring our hands forwards like a dive position, really leading with the middle finger. Okay, so breathing in and then breathing out. Again, leading with the middle finger if you can, pointing backwards. And then let that relax. Okay, do that one more time. Relax the shoulders, point the middle fingers back if you can. If it's hurting your shoulders, go to where you can go to. It doesn't have to be up here. Okay. We'll do it just one last time. Nothing needs to be forced. You're feeling the stretch position. If for you that's here, if it's down here, that's enough, because it's for you to feel. You don't have to be, touching your hands behind your back. Okay. And then we are going to do the lung stretch, which we're going to do the expression where it's like a big yawn, but focus on the thumbs and forefingers. So stretching up, breathing in, breathing out. So again, breathe in, stretch up. Last time. Okay, nice. And then finally, the final stretch we're going to do is the heart stretch. And we've done this before. You put your hands together, and this time the focus is with the little fingers. Okay. So bring your hands into prayer position in front of you. Lift them up, breathe in. to wherever you can get to, and then relax the shoulders, relax the elbows back, and if you can, just look up and let that open your inner part of the arm. Okay. So again, you have to find where your stretch level is. It might be that you can go drop right back. This may be. It's lovely if you can. It might be that here is where you get to and your shoulders don't want to go any further. So from here, relax the shoulders, open the elbows and look up. So this is it. We're going to do this again. Ready? Prayer position, leading with the little fingers, breathe in. So wherever you need to get to, relax the shoulders, open the elbows, breathe out, look up. Okay. One last time. Okay, we're just going to keep this movement going, actually. Let your arms just swing side by side. Now, this is more for lung, large intestine, but it's great for opening the chest. So, we're just nicely, gently bouncing up and down. I always remember Dinah, my teacher, saying, imagine you have a bungee cord attached from heaven and someone's just going boing, boing, boing. This is it, and then we're allowing the hands to swing. We're not forcing the hands, we're just allowing them to swing with the bounce. And in fact, you can encourage them with the bounce. You can make the bounce a bit stronger if you want to make them swing behind you a bit more. What time have we got to? Nice, plenty of time. Then we're going to turn the hands into different positions just to see what it's like. Try just turning your hands around and seeing what it feels like for the shoulders and the chest. Whereabouts feels like your position you want to be in for the arm and the hand. You're turned inwards, palms facing down, palms facing in, palms facing up. You're going more straight back or you're going more open. Play with it. Explore your body and the response and feeling. Kind of wanting to open the chest a bit. Yeah, there, that's my place. Okay. And then again, just letting it relax. No longer bouncing, just letting it all come to a close. Just letting the body find its moment of that movement sinking inside until it's so central you can just let go of it. And again, that internal awareness, just being with that, not doing anything with it, just being with it. Nice. Okay. Now, points of the week. Nice, I said points in plural. Actually, oh, I need the chair. I'll just come close up. Oh, hello. Hello. So I hope everyone's been enjoying it so far. We are now going to get into the points of the week, which are, I'm going to get the slides up. Here we go. Ba-ding! Heart 1 and Heart 3. So Heart 1, Jichuan Summit Spring, or another way of putting it is utmost spring. And the meaning of this is kind of like, it's almost like this is the spring point for the Qi to emerge for the heart channel, where it will then go on to flow down like a river. And this is like the spring point. It comes up. And it says in this book I have here, it's a lovely book, this one, Images and Functions. The name suggests that from this point, channel Qi flows down from the spring at the channel's external origin in the armpit or axilla towards the hand below. The name also evokes the idea of the Qi at its zenith, at its top point, when it is most intense and abundant. So, as it says, this helps to unbind the chest. When you find the point just right, it can really help the chest to kind of like, like we were sighing earlier. It can also help benefit the channel, like it helps to open the channel out, basically. Like, I hope that sound effect helped. And because of that, it can help with things like, when you've got anxiety in the chest and it, it freezes you up, or you have frozen shoulder, which almost invariably comes from emotional tension. Frozen shoulder almost always comes from emotional tension. And the heart is the seat of our sense of self, and therefore the outwelling of our emotions, or at least the regulating of our emotions. So, we often don't think to stick our thumbs in people's armpits. So yes, Kat, it's a beautiful point. Strangely satisfying to receive the touch here. It really is when you get the point right. There's a thing to remember with getting it right. We have a point up on the shoulder here where the base of the neck meets the shoulder. So I want you to kind of get your thumb under here, a bit like you're kind of crooking your hand around your shoulder. And you find, you can kind of have a little feel around, and you'll feel that there's like a couple of muscle, tendon qualities, and you're kind of going in between those. Be gentle with yourself. And you're aiming upwards towards that where the base of the neck meets the shoulder. So you ready? Find that point in the soft spot, middle of the armpit, between the muscles and the tendons. And then point up towards the base of the neck here, and you'll feel it just, does it open up the channel in the arm for you? Does it go more into the chest? Or does it go more into a sense of feeling, of emotional, maybe expansion or relief? So where's it going for you? What's it like for you? Okay, and bring your thumb out, give your arm a bit of a shake, maybe there. And James says, lovely feeling of softening the head, the chest. Mary says, so relaxing, beautiful, everyone. Let's do the other side as well. So we've got the armpit. So get the thumb into the crook of the armpit and find that sort of soft spot that seems to kind of sink right in, and then aim for up here, base of the neck meets the shoulder. And you can relax this arm a bit, relax, sinking in. Where do you find it responding to? Through the arm, through the shoulder, through the chest, or more into a feeling? Or is it a mixture of all of those things? Lovely. I'm getting much more of a general feeling, just like, I just want to smile. Okay, lovely. Heart 1, a beautiful point. I mean, if someone had anxiety in the chest and you very, very gently worked that point with a quality, with a sense of just reaching into the heart and going, so beautiful. Of course, not to be, the heart is not something to be poked. So you want to be really soft if you're going to encourage someone to do that. Now, heart 3. Jane says, deep into the central chest, like a comfort blanket, gently wrapping around my heart. I feel that. That's beautiful. So the heart 3, I'm going to take us and our attention to that. You can see on the slide here that it's in the elbow, which is sort of just like a bit of a weird space. What do we do with that? But if you look, it's right at the very edge of the elbow crease. You see that? So right where the elbow crease ends, that's where it'll be. Okay, so you bend the arm, you find the end of the elbow crease, and then we connect them in this. Now, I'm just going to say a couple of things. Before we work it, I'll say a couple of things about it because we don't have the notes up on screen. So this is called Xiaohai, which means lesser sea, a lesser sea. And again, it's this sort of water quality, like a spring turns into a river, turns into a small sea. Okay. The sea refers to this point's classification as a sea point, basically like energy pools there, but in a nice deep way, where the channel's qi gathers. The lesser suggests its location on the hand lesser yin channel. This is a bit of a classification thing of how we say this is, because that's on the upper, so it's like the upper or greater. This is on the lesser or yin or under. It doesn't mean lesser as in it's not as good. It's great. And the functions are things like helps to regulate the heart, and it helps to regulate the qi and the blood of the heart and chest. Unfortunately, Simonetta, we don't have a slide for Heart 3 on its own. So I'm just going to read these things to you, and then we're going to play with it and see if we can really feel into it. So the last one, Heart 1, as we can see, unbinds the chest. It can release tension like anxiety or frozen shoulder, and it can benefit the arm. Heart 3 is said to more regulate the heart and regulate its qi and its blood. And the qi, we get more of the active quality, and the blood, we get more of the sort of nourishing and I am myself quality. It's also said to calm the spirit and strengthen the brain, or possibly strengthen the mind, because the mind is very closely associated with the heart. This is where the mind really is housed rather than up here. And the other effect is, of course, benefiting the arm and the elbow. So let's have a play with Heart 3, and see in comparison to Heart 1 what it feels like. We haven't really done this much, so this is really interesting. Okay, find your elbow crease. Find the end of the elbow crease with your thumb. Relax the arm so you can just kind of find it. And you've got like above it, you've got a bit of tendon and muscle. Below it, you've got the elbow bone. So you're finding a really lovely soft spot where it sinks in again. Remember how Heart 1 was a soft sinking in quality? Okay, so we're going to just sink into Heart 3. Just find, is it just the channel, the feeling of the elbow? Is it more the feeling of the arm? Or does it sink more into the chest and the heart? Do you feel more a sense of your mind or your emotions? Or even a sense of your spirit? What's it like for you? Okay. I mean, I immediately, much stronger than Heart 1, felt my entire channel open up. And that was beautiful alone. And then just a general sense of calm and sort of simple awareness. So slightly different for me. Okay, let's try the other side. Bend the arm, elbow crease. Hold at the end of the elbow crease, relax the arm. Find that lovely soft point where you can kind of sink in, where it's like a small sea, a gathering of qi. Okay, sink into that point. Notice, is it just the elbow? Is it more the channel, the whole of the arm? Is it more affecting the chest and the heart? Oh, I'm really feeling it in the heart on this side. Ooh. Or is it more just a sense of your mind or your spirit? Yeah, lovely. Okay. So I really want to hear from you any difference you found from the heart 1 to the heart 3, because they're both beautiful points. And this point can really be used, interestingly, for that sense of, thank you for dropping the slides. So this point can really be used for that quality of the spirit being calmed. Now, in this day and age, we've got a lot of things being talked about in terms of mental health. It's like skyrocketing. But what's not necessarily talked about or recognized by the mainstream is how that may relate to and actually be spiritual health or a soul disturbance. And they really do bleed across, the two. And so knowing we can use points like this for the anxiety quality, and then this for more the general soothing of the soul and spirit, that's a lovely thing. It's such a beautiful thing. But also, it's just got a great feeling of opening the channel and brightening the mind. And that's what the heart really is a fantastic quality for. Okay. Welcome anyone to put in anything else. Caroline, yeah. I think many of us are tired on a soul level. Rest your heart. Try not to find yourself in too many situations of overwhelm. And if you do, then take as much time as you can to ground and settle. So let's do a little bit of grounding now. Just do a little bit of, in fact, actually first, I'm going to get us to do a bit of a Qi Gong form. And we're going to get into a bit more of that soothing the heart and the sort of state of soul. And if you are coming to standing, we're going to do this. I think I may have done this with you before. So we start by raising our hands up. And you have a sense of connecting with the heavens. Have a sense of connecting with the heavens. And instead of trying to draw that Qi down, imagine you're just allowing, it's already there, you're just allowing the heavens Qi in and down. And you're going down the back of the head and point down the spine. Bring it around, because obviously your hands can't go any further down the back. Around the ribs, around towards the kidneys, around the outside, the yang aspect from the heavens, down to the earth. However far you can reach down, connect towards the earth, draw or allow that earth Qi up through the yin aspect, up through the center to the heart. Sink into the heart for a moment. And then unfold like a scroll all the way out to the horizon. Okay, so that's basically it. That's the form. So, heavens, allowing the heavens in and down and round. Drawing the heavens quality, the yang aspect through the body, around the outside of the legs. Meet the earth. Allow that earth quality to draw up and to gently move up through the center into the heart. And then unfolding from the heart, meeting out towards the furthest extremities around. And just allow this to become a flowing movement in your own time. Trying to allow a sense of openness through the joints. Just allowing it to be one continuous smooth movement. Relaxed and open through the head and spine, the shoulders, elbows, wrists, through the hips, knees and ankles. And remember, when you meet the earth, you're allowing that earth to gently rise up through you like water in a plant. From the heart, you're just gently opening, allowing a sense of a certain amount of connection to the furthest reaches of the horizon, and then up to the heavens, and allow the heavens to drop through you. Open lightness. Okay, but now let's change it a tiny bit. Just change the focus a little bit. When you reach the heavens, hold there for a second. Now imagine the heavens love, the love from heavens. Allow that in and through and round, that openness, the lightness, the allowance from the heavens for you to be as you are. And meet the earth and allow that love from the earth now. What would that be like? Nourishing, supporting. And the love from within your own heart to open out to everyone around. Or not, just to open out. Maybe that's enough. So heaven's love in and around the whole of the body. Earth's love in and supporting and holding up the body. And then your heart's love enjoying and appreciating and opening. One more time. Heaven's love around. Earth's love, grounding, supporting, nourishing. Heart's love, enjoying and appreciating. Contented in the world. Bring your hands to prayer position in front of you. Have a moment of being thankful for that. Let that settle in. And if you need to, notice, do you need to just allow yourself to sink down a bit more and feel that ground? Are you a bit heavy? Do you need to just lighten up a little? Where's your central aspect? Find that balance. Have a little bit of a shake off. Oh, pardon me. And then just to finish off, imagine that class, all of us together. And thank you everyone for joining. Be thankful with that class we have. It's such a lovely group we have together. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. It's been lovely playing, and it's been great exploring, comparing 2 points. I hope you had a nice session. Oh yeah, Kim, woo way woo, you learned on Sunday. Yeah, that's a great one. Excellent, I'm glad everyone enjoyed. It's so nice to do the practice with you all. Thank you so much, Kat.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a lovely, very delicious session, yeah.
Yeah, good, I'm glad, delicious.
I was waving around my arms in my office, so that was nice.
Nice. Yeah, it actually can make the space you're in feel so much nicer when you do this sort of thing. So, you know, repeated practice of Qi work and heartfelt work helps the space you're in become more Qi-ful and heartfelt. So perfect to do it in an office.
It's true. Oh, it's lovely.
Well, thanks so much for helping out with the chat. It looks like it was relatively busy today. And I'm going to say cheerio. And this is possibly the first time I've ever finished early.
Yay!
Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Lots of love. Goodbye.